learn, and laugh as ESL teachers. Hello. Can everyone hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Okay, let me just adjust my microphone here. Is that better? Okay, good morning. Let me put my face on. Here we go. Let me see. Is that okay? I think that looks fine, right? Let me move a little bit to the left. There we go. Good morning. It's Joy, and welcome to our little ESL teacher corner of the internet. Whether you're watching on Zoom, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube, you made it. And let's get some music here. And I'm so happy you're here. If you're new, I'm glad to see you here. I don't know. I'll mention your names later. Just a little bit about me. I've been in ESL for about 15 years. And yes, I've got the TEFL certificate and a psychology and education background, but the real education, that's come from my students. Every single class has taught me something, especially the unexpected, beautiful moments in between. So if you're here for the tips and a little teaching therapy, you're in the right room, and let's make it worth your time. All right, so we're going to have real questions from ESL teachers just like you. And we also are going to talk about how to turn slides into actual lessons, okay? And we're going there. Today's hot topic: how do you react when some people assume ESL teaching is just a side gig? We've all heard that. It's time to unpack it. And also, we are going to give away a free one-on-one coaching session. I'll tell you how to enter in just a bit. But friends, let's check in. Drop your location in the chat, city, country, whatever. Whether you're watching from your classroom, your couch, or coffee shop. I want to know where our ESL crew is joining from today. Okay, you can, yeah, just chat that. Hi, Teacher Louisa. Teacher Louisa is from Davao. Eve Grace from Metro Manila. Hello. Nachel May Lambukan from Davao City. Roel Dagsa Dusong from Puerto Princesa, Palawan. Wow. Hi. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Okay, so the first part of today's Corey Altamirano, Lipa, Batangas. Hi, Corey. Thanks for being here with us. The first part of today's session is all about your questions on the ESL English for ESL curriculum. So, if you are with me on Zoom, you can just raise your virtual hand, unmute. If you're able to talk, that would be fantastic. Or if not, you can just type it in the chat. Okay? All right. So I would like to say hi to our Zoom attendees today. We have Nichelle May, Lambukan, Corey Altamirano, Meng Eve, Suri, Roel, Teacher Louisa, Chris, Becca. Is that how you read it? Becca with the number 3. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. And big hugs to Jen Agustin. She said our free lesson materials really helped her, especially with the young students. Jen, thank you for that. It's why we do what we do. Thank you so much. We're so happy to hear that. Hi, Chris. Good morning. All right. Yes. Is anyone on Facebook yet? I want to say hi to everyone on Facebook or TikTok. So let's dive into our first curriculum Q&A. So like what I said, you can just raise your virtual hand, unmute your microphone, or type if you have any questions, okay? All right. So while you're...
Eve's
hear
got a
something.
question.
Okay.
So Eve,
Hello, good morning.
Okay.
Hi, Eve.
Yeah, I just have a question. It's not really about the curriculum, but do you have a Facebook group? It's because it's super convenient for me since I'm always on Facebook. So I would like to know do you have group and what's the name?
Oh, thanks for the question. Yes, we've got a special Facebook group. It's called English Bright ESL Community. Let me see if I can get the link or someone else can. Yeah, so this is a space where we share ideas. I think anything, like, you can even share anything. Like I'm teaching this particular lesson today, you can do a screenshot, and it's just a space where we share our, we can understand each other. And especially if you're using the same curriculum, you have questions. Also, if there are errors, because we are not perfect, nobody's perfect. So if you see any errors, we would be so happy if you can just tell us that, and we would change that and correct that right away. Okay, so this is Zoom. Okay. So that is our Facebook group, English Bright Community. I wonder if I can just type it here too. And if you're not a member yet, Eve, you can go ahead and search that if you're on Facebook now.
Yeah, I just sent and I just joined the group, but it's
all right. Yes, that's perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So that's English Bright ESL Community. I think it's very helpful to have a group, something like this, because say we have some tech issues and stuff like that. So it's easy to, if it's easy for you, it's convenient for you to go onto Facebook and say, my lesson is not loading. Is this, so that everyone is also experiencing that. So it's just like support group, right? So come join us and be part of the conversation. Thank you, Eve.
Good morning, Teacher Joy.
Hi, Teacher Luisa.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I have a question. Would like to ask, how do we help our students to summarize or compare ideas on certain topics? Then we integrate TOEFL writing practice also.
Oh.
Yes, so that they can learn how to weigh different viewpoints and how to write clearly about them.
Okay, so assuming your student is like teenager or something.
Yes, a young adult.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So you're asking about teaching this student. Also, this student is also trying to prepare for TOEFL exam, right?
Right.
Yeah. So we have our, let me get the website here. There you go. Can you see that? So that is here, level 6, advanced. We have different topics. We will complete this until unit 12, right? But right now we have units 1 to 5, and let me show you. Let's say you don't really have to follow the order. You can start with what your student is probably into. Let's say the student is into pets, right? So we can go here, and let me just show you this first lesson. Okay, so TOEFL writing practice. We have it here. Okay, so let me get that. Pet and animal care. So like you're introducing vocabulary. A lot of times they are familiar with the words already. So your goal here is to actually just, aware, and you can also make it aware for the student that you know all the words here. I know you know all the words here, but we're just going to talk about them, just kind of like a warm up. And so there's a pet, and then you can create a question or come up with a question about you have a pet, if you don't have a pet, if you can get one, what do you think you would like to have and why, and stuff like that. So when we go here, there is a part here where you can practice writing, how to help them respond coherently, and also how to compare ideas. And it's very good. I'll show you here. So here's the speaking part. So like, very, very good question. This could be a good, make a talking point. These are just peeking here, and let me get here. So they have the reading part as well. What they're going to do with your question of how to compare ideas, they will compare what they've read to a video with an audio that they're going to watch. So here's the story. Let me just show you here because I want you to see the whole beauty of it. Max and me. So they're going to read this, and they're going to watch. So the next activity is for their listening skills. So they're gonna listen to let me see if this will work.
Watch and listen carefully.
Let's just do it here.
In the door, Mittens would come running, ready to play or cuddle.
All right, so there's reading and there's listening. And after that, this is where we can practice their writing skills. So here, provide a summary, this and that. So that's the writing. And right here. So this is actually where that comparison or teaching them how to compare ideas. Main topic of the video, key points, and then they can do main topic of the reading passage, and then the comparison of key characteristics or opinion. So for this lesson, you need to be a little ready, because you don't just want to wing this. I think it's hard to wing this one. Here's a sample answer. So yeah, if you're teaching this, I suggest you review it, go to the sample answer and just read it. And yeah, That's just about it. So that will, what's teacher Louisa, that is going to be in level 6. Okay. So if you're looking for TOEFL writing practice, just go ahead to level 6 and find the topic that you think will ignite their ideas and interest. Okay. Thanks for that question, teacher Louisa.
Thank
we
you
have
for
a,
sharing.
we have a question from Iris. It says, hello, Joy. Do you have a lesson plan that helps students learn vocabulary related to budgeting, savings, and money management?
All right, Iris. Hi, Iris. Is she here? Is she on?
She's on actually Facebook.
Okay. Hi, Iris. So, yes, budget savings. Let me think. This is okay. I can't completely remember what level, but let's just go to the resources. This is probably level 5. Let me look. Level 5. Yes, here we go. Level 5, unit 11, money saving. Okay, so this is a money saving unit where the main focus would be savings, budget, income, and other money related terms. So let me show you. I think this is very, very good. Also, it's great because there are some terms that students don't really know in English. And I think it's also a very good topic that will get your students speaking or talking, right? This is good for young adults as well. Let me show you here. Okay. So we got savings, budget, allowance. Okay. And we got the vocabulary practice because this is level 5. You're going to ask them to create their own sentence. You're going to click it. These are clickable. So if you're not too familiar with all the things, the tools here, if you want to know which ones are clickable in this slide, you click this hand right here. So when you see these, that means this is clickable, right? So let's click it. Okay, so there's a picture. Hand button to reveal possible answer. All right, so before you do that, you're going to ask your student. Say your student's name is Anna. Anna, look at the picture. Can you make a sentence just by looking at the picture? If, there's some dead air there, you can show a sample answer. So Cora puts a part of her birthday money into her savings account so she can buy a new skateboard next summer. Or you can make just a short sentence using the word savings. Okay. So what else are the fun activities here? We have, that's just the vocabulary part. And I know that's the only thing you've asked for. But we have also the dialogue here. This is, I think, very good in making them more confident in speaking. It's just fun, some young students that are in advanced stage, so that's good. But if they're kind of like teenager or like young adult, you don't have to animate it too much, okay? But this is just a good practice to kind of teach them the proper rhythm in speaking English. You don't want it robotic. You want it with feelings and emotions. That's the only way you can be a better and effective speaker, is to really say it and deliver it correctly. So yeah, that's one of the activities under this topic. We also have grammar, pronunciation, and reading. Like what I've mentioned in my previous live session, we are very lucky that English Brights created lessons with so many slides. And you can, this is where you can add your brand, your personality, and how your teaching style. Do you want to just, you can just jump to grammar if you think Anna is not really good at it. You can maybe use half of this and then continue it into your next session. That way you have plenty of resources. You're not going to run out, right? Because I think 44 slides could be an hour. So if you're only teaching 25 minutes, then you can use this for 2 sessions. Yeah. All right. So that was from Iris, right? Iris, that is level 5, unit 11, lesson 1. Money saving. That's the topic. All right. Who else?
I got a question. Another one from Facebook. And let's see. This is a common question. Are the materials compatible with Skype, Voov, and Zoom?
Yes. All right. So any software that can share screen is good. All right. I know this is a very common question. If your student is using iPad, it would be hard for them to actually move this stuff around here, like the interactivity. But I think that is good in a way, because they get, when they're bored, they would just play with all the interactivity and not listen to you. So you want to have that control. But if they are on a laptop computer, what you can do is you can give them the remote access. If you are using, let's say, Zoom, like what I'm doing right now here, I will give someone the mouse control. Let's see, I'll give it to teacher Louisa. So teacher Louisa, you can control the screen and you get prompted. You see that? You should be able to see that. Yes. All right. So now if there are activities where they need to write or draw a line or circle, they can do that. Also, if the kid is old enough to kind of understand directions, there is the pen tool on the software. So if you're using Skype, I'm not too familiar with Skype anymore. I used to use that software in the beginning stage of my ESL teaching, but now it's more Voov and Zoom. So I'm sure there is a pen tool on Skype too. For Zoom, there is a pen tool. And for Voov, there is a pen tool. If your student is not able to really understand directions, you can tell the mother. This is only when they are ready, when you think they are able to really follow instructions. Because, trust me, if you let them just do write and stuff like that, it may just really turn into something you don't want. But again, there is this pen tool on our lesson. If there are maybe lessons that you don't see a pen tool, please let us know, okay? Because sometimes maybe that is not turned on. So we want the pen tool because it's easier. And I've said this before, the difference of the pen tool with Zoom, Voov, Skype is when you switch slides, it's not going to be automatically erased. But if you're using the pen tool on the slide, on English Bright slide, it's just gonna disappear on its own. So those are the two differences. And I use both because there are activities that I need to use the Zoom pen because I want it to stick on the screen. All right. Yeah.
We got another question from Juliet that says, hello, is there a way to address motivation and self-talk in your curriculum, particularly for students who may lack confidence?
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Let me understand the question
Want me to
again.
read that again, or?
Yes, please.
Okay, all right. It says, is there a way to address motivation and self-talk in your curriculum, particularly for students who lack confidence? Is there a way to address motivation and self-talk?
Okay, self-talk and okay. All right, let's see. Let me think of a topic that actually aligns with that lesson, or vocabulary, self-talk, and what was it? Self-talk, right?
Yeah, self-talk.
Okay.
Motivation to address.
Yeah. Okay, so you are, the main question is the student has low confidence and you want a topic that would talk about something to kind of lead the student to improve that. All right, let me see. Okay, I think it's here. This is level 5, okay? And I really love the topics here. So we discovered money saving. We are now going to positive thinking. Let me see if there is that self-awareness, self-talk here, self-talk. All right, so the goal of this unit is, that's one of the goals. If teaching student how to build self-esteem, how important it is to think positively. That's the title, positive thinking, right? Then we have self-talk here. We have the word affirmation. I think these are so good to. This is a great way to teach your students. They're learning English at the same time. You are kind of supporting them mentally, right? So this is similar to what I showed you with the money topic. It has grammar. It has all areas of the important areas that the student should learn in learning English. We have the reading part, and let me just show you here the question. This is kind of like free talking. Wait. What are affirmations? Okay, here. Why is it important to have self-talk and affirmations every day? So, who was it? Who asked that? You can find that in level 5, not in the younger students. I mean, not in the lower levels, because this topic is a little bit more mature. So they need to be in the upper intermediate level to kind of carry the conversation and really express themselves. All right, I see a question from Chris Pat. May I ask how long each lesson usually takes? For example, with celebration lesson 1, does the duration depend on how I navigate it, or is there a suggested time frame? You know what? The great thing about, I assume you are teaching independently. I do not give myself really a strict, like time frame. Like, I need to finish this. I need to finish the whole thing in one session. I don't. It actually depends on your student's learning style. And there are students that are great at reading, but they struggle in, let's say, comprehension. So what you'll do is you don't go through all the reading parts, okay? Like vocabulary practice, you just have them pick, the word, and you can read it for them. So the time would, if you want to finish the entire thing, you don't have to have them read the whole sentence. You can just jump to that particular area where they're struggling. So you go to reading and go to reading comprehension questions. So really there isn't suggested time frame. For me, it depends on your student, because if you want to be fulfilled too when you finish a lesson, it doesn't matter if you did not go through every slide, because you can always go back to that the next time. So if they're, like what I said, if they're having a hard time with reading comprehension, go there, focus there until you think they have kind of, get it. If it's pronunciation, go to tongue twisters and have fun saying the words. And yeah, thank you for that question. But like what I said, we have a lot of slides in every lesson. That is actually a good thing, because you can use one lesson for 2 25-minute sessions. Yeah, but basically it's probably 40 if you want to finish the whole thing. 40 minutes is going to be an ideal time, 40-50 minutes, if you really want to do every single slide, and if you want to be teaching effectively. 40-50 minutes for 40 slides, I think.
Got a question here from actually Los Angeles, California. It's from Cindy, and she's asking, how do you do the homework every time for every class?
Cindy, California. Oh, hi. Hi. What's the question again? I'm sorry.
She wants to know if you do the homework for every class, every lesson. You send them homework.
Oh, if I send her homework for every class. I try.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's that? How does the homework what?
I think she's just kind of wants to know maybe how the homework works in this too.
Oh, okay. Sure, I can show you that. To be honest, they don't turn in the homework. Well, our homework is, they can see the answers right away because it's interactive. So let me just show you here quick. Let's go to fruits. I am religiously sending out the homework, especially to the younger ones, levels 0, level 1, level 2, but then some level 3. But when you get to this level 4, 5, 6, they're not too interested, unless the mother really asks that. They have homework. All right, so the homework can be found here. Okay, guys, this is the main lesson. You're teaching lesson 1, vegetables. Where's the homework? Here is the homework. You can copy that, or you can just open a whole new tab. So here, let's go to the homework. Let me show you. Here is the homework. Okay, wait a minute. Let's just see here. And there should be like the button. Hold on a minute. Here, let's try this one. Homework. There is not the button there. I don't know why. Sorry, let me try another one. Let's go to online school. Okay. Okay. All right, let me see here. View. I don't know. For some reason, okay, here you go. Here is the button to start. So this is the homework, okay? There's vocabulary, and this is what I was talking about. Okay, so they look at this picture, choose a sentence that matches the picture. If the student knows perfectly how to read, they can just do that. But there's an audio here too.
We have a face-to-face class.
Okay, so there's an audio. This is for them to practice their pronunciation and how to say it correctly. So what is this? Face-to-face class. So they can see right away if the answer is right or wrong, right? So here, online class, sight words.
Pop the bubbles to find the special word. Then read and tap that word. Pop the
Okay.
bubbles to find the special word.
All right, so if you have younger students and you think that they really need to practice, especially, I think I would say yes, just send it out. Also, if you can also, be honest and just tell the parent or ask if they did their homework. If not, you can use the homework in your regular class, your lesson, just to review them and to also show them how it's done, right? Because they can see you're clicking here,
A or an?
all right. Okay, so now let's see. Do we have any more questions? Let me just close
Yes.
that. Okay.
Actually, this is from Toronto,
Mm-hmm.
Canada. How do you let's see here. How do you track student progress over time?
What is it? How do you track?
How do you track student progress over time?
Oh, okay. So we have the knowledge check to do that. I think I've also mentioned this in our previous session, but for those who are new, we have our knowledge checks. So we have 12 lessons in every unit, right? So as you can see here, let me just show the colors for 12. There's 12. There is an evaluation here in level 6. Okay, this covers lessons 1, 2, 3, and 4. So these are all the questions here. This will kind of help you gauge if they really understand all the lessons you've taught here. So if you can tell if their progress is good and if they are ready to move on to the next lesson. Or if you finish all this, you have the final quiz, final knowledge check, and this will also give you an idea of whether they should go to unit 2, or there are times where the student can actually jump to unit 4. You just go look at the summary, unit summary, and look at the topics or the focus, grammar focus and stuff like that. And you can kind of like, okay, so he knows this, and then you move on to another unit. It really depends on your student. You don't have to just follow or the units in order. It depends on how fast their progress is. There is also we have not put it on the website yet, but we have an evaluation sheet where you can send out to the parents. Let me just think where I put that. But yes, we will send you an announcement if that will be available. It is a great way to show the parents how their kid is doing. I like it a lot because it doesn't just focus. It focuses on the confidence level of the student when it comes to speaking, when it comes to answering you. their ability to understand what you're saying. It's really good. We can talk about that in another session. That's a whole new thing. All right. I have a question from Corey. Hi, Corey. This is on Zoom. Most ESL companies require applicants with near native accent. Can you refer us to lessons teaching native accent? You want to teach your student to have a native accent? Is this what you're trying to ask, Corey?
Yes, Miss Joy.
Okay. This is, how old is the student?
Usually for adults.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right. When I'm not teaching adults now, but when I used to teach adults, and I know that this is like their main goal. Like, I want to speak like a native speaker. I want to sound like them. But what I do with that is the reading part is a great way to teach them that. Also, the problem I see is the pronunciation. So if you can hear a pronunciation, or like, let's see, sure, what do you call those things? Phonics. The most common thing I've observed is that the phonics, like, they have a hard time with short vowel and long vowel sounds. Like, the short I, they say they read the word in long I. So that's when you will not have a, what is the term, neutral accent, is because the phonics, like the long, let's see, the word sheet, right? I always make this an example for the adults because that's funny, and they don't want to make that mistake, right? So the phonics, that's where the problem lies. The reason why you don't sound neutral is because the long E, the short E, you say it in long E. So when you go to the USA and you're doing that, it's hard for the native speakers to understand you because you're using, so basically you can focus on showing them, teaching them phonics. Just, like drill with, you start with short O, long O, the oo sound, the ah, what else? The A. Oh my gosh, long A is a huge problem to English learners. So when I tell them that, I always catch it, and I always want them to say it correctly. So the A, right? So you have, let me see, what an example. Mat, mate. So they say mate, right? Long A, it should be mate. So this is how I tell them. When you say this word long A, when you say it, it's like you're smiling, mate. But because they say it met, right? It's just like maybe, for Filipino, if they pronounce it incorrectly, it's like, what's that? Because our brain is like, that's a foreign word to me. What are you trying to say? But they're saying maybe, we have different accents. If you're from the north and the south, when someone from the south goes to the north, I'm talking about the Philippines, the people from the south may say the word in a harder tone because that's the accent. And so sometimes it's hard for the Tagalog people to understand, or it's kind of like that. It is the phonics, the vowels. That's, I think, so if you can just focus on the phonics and then have a lot of drills under that would be a good start. That's really, really one thing I've noticed. The long A, the short A, that's where it's like it's a giveaway. You're not a native speaker when you just make one mistake of that. Just saying a word incorrectly. Yeah, thank you, Corey.
Okay, thank you, Teach.
Thank you. All right. We are on 50-minute mark. Did I say anything about? No, I didn't. All right. Do you have any more questions? Let's see. While you are thinking of more questions, I want to just see here how to win one-on-one coaching. So you can like this live right now, wherever you're watching from. And in the comment section, type on what's this? Hashtag free EB free coaching. Hold on a second here. Let me type it here. So it's clear. There, right here. This is the hashtag in the comment section. Okay. If you're watching from Facebook, you can just go ahead and share this live using the hashtag EB free coaching. And make sure it's set to public. But if you're on Zoom, you're automatically entered. Okay, thank you so much. If is there more question? I have a question here. This is from Renee in Los Angeles, California. And she says, my student is able to read, but she does so in a very flat, monotonous tone. Are there any tools in the curriculum to teach students that English is not a flat sounding language? Okay, there are plenty of tools and activities. One thing I can think of is the tongue twisters, because young and old, they like tongue twisters. It's just fun, it's a game. It's really great for improving clarity and speech confidence. And like what I said, it's really just a game. I like tongue twisters. So you can start slow, okay? Let's open up a tongue twister here. You can start slow and then you can speed it up, and you can, let me open this. It's a playful way to really get the pronunciation, the rhythm, the mouth coordination, because you need to tell and remind your students who are learning English that there is melody. Okay? Language isn't flat. It has music. So the tongue twisters can make them feel the rhythm of the words. So where is that? Come on, tongue twister. Okay, here. Right here. So you can go here. What is the word? What is the sound, Rusty's? I think the hard G and the soft G is the main focus here. Right here. So Rusty and his goat get away with the giraffe. So I would say, let's just read it in a normal way. Or if your student is a little shy, there are some that does not want to do the game. They don't find it fun. So you can just have them read it slowly. Rusty and his goat get away with a giraffe. So you model it again. You do it. Okay, I'm going to do it fast, right? And when you make mistakes, they like it, and that's okay. You want them you want it to be fun, right? Rusty and his goat get away with the giraffe. How I explain it to my students so they understand and they'll remember it. I like to say, if your student is Chinese, I would say, when you say ni hao in Chinese, you don't say it flat. It has a tone, right? You don't say ni hao, and then you would see their face would kind of smile. You don't say ni hao, right? You say ni hao. I don't know exactly how to say it, but there is music. You don't go ni hao ma. And then they would get that. And then you say, English works the same way. There's up and down, right? So if you've listened to some of the audio, we got a comment saying the girl's voice was exaggerated and annoying. That girl is me, okay? I'm gonna tell you why. There's a reason it sounds that way, because after teaching thousands of English learners from all over the globe, I've noticed that many students struggle with intonation and expression. They can read, yes, they can read, but you know, the delivery is very flat or emotionless. So that can affect both comprehension and communication. That's why when you hear some of the homework there, it's a little bit dramatic, especially for our beginner level homework materials. It may sound a bit dramatic, but it's really not meant to annoy anyone. It is designed to model clear pronunciation and expressive intonation, because these are essential skills, you know, for becoming a confident and effective English speaker. You want to model it. You want them to read in a way that they are an effective reader. So yeah, it's a little extra, but it's all with purpose. Okay, so yeah, what's your favorite tongue twister? Let's go back to our tongue twister. My personal favorite is this one. How about you, Becca? Wow, we're almost in 1 hour mark. Yeah, I thought, but I thought wasn't a thought, I thought, if I thought. And I like the fuzzy wuzzy was a bear. Yeah, that's my favorite too. And a lot of my students love fuzzy wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy wuzzy wasn't a bear. Fuzzy wuzzy. Okay.
We've got a lot of questions, but I think we'll just take one last one. We got.
Okay, yes.
See like 8 more questions, but.
Okay, Chris says Peter Piper. Peter Piper. Yeah, this one is hard. That's why that's not my favorite. This always get me. That's a good one, Chris. Thank you for sharing. There's one more. Okay, yeah, I think we just get one more.
Right, we got a bunch, but here's one last one we can cover. So it says, Teacher Jory, can you share a simple trick that helps get your students excited for the next lesson or meeting?
Excited? Woo, woo, woo. Like, I don't want to miss teacher. I want to see her every time. Yes, I've actually talked about this, how to get your students come back and look forward. Like what I said, you got to make it fun. You got to make it, you have to kind of like, for very young students especially, I would tell everyone to make your young students love you, because you know what, especially if you're teaching independently, they do not want anyone else. They just want to stick with you. So if they start with you at 3 years old, they're going to be with you until 13, 14. Who knows, maybe when they're in their adulthood, they would still want to practice speaking with you. So you want them to love you. You want them to treat you like, you know, you want your classroom to be fun, to be calm, to be just love, you know. You when the little kids are silly, you show them you're silly. When the little kids show you all the things they have, the toys and stuffed animals, and you show them you're very interested and you like that. Oh, I love a teddy bear. So nice. And you do not want to make it like a regular class, like what, you know, we have to admit that the class when we are in school, it's kind of boring. There's a lot of things, you know, subject per subject. But when they are in you, they're learning in your classroom. I mean, they're learning English, but it's more of learning it in a fun manner. So it's not really to, it's not like a chore, like, oh my God, I'm gonna learn again. It's more of like, this is a place where I can be, it's fun, we can play, if you have older students that are really good at exchanging conversations, secret there is you have to listen to them attentively. They like it when you share things about you. So when they share something and you share some funny things about you, you just show your, vulnerable side, show them that you're human. Because most of the kids think teachers are very, not relatable. So you just want them to know that you're human, you can laugh, you can make mistakes, you're funny, and they're gonna like you. Yeah. Okay. There I see Jenny Rika. Hi, Jenny Rika. Okay, I have a whole topic that I want to talk about, but I think we will save that for next session. Okay. But I want to talk about that. I know I mentioned that in the very beginning. Let me see here.
We will say that for anyone that has a question that we couldn't get to, you can always just send us an email at contact@englishbrightesl.com, or you could even chat with us we have a chat on the website as well.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll try to get back to any questions though.
Yeah. So we will talk about this in our next session. I know that you can just talk and talk. When you're a teacher, you just want to talk and talk, right? And so that's why I want to talk about this. This topic really hits deep. Ooh. It was a question submitted last week, and honestly, it is something so many of us have heard, or maybe even struggled in silence. When someone says, is ESL teaching just a side gig? Yeah, that one, Maybe someone said it to your face. Maybe you've seen it in a dismissive comment, or maybe it's just the way someone looked at you when you told them what you do. Okay, we're going to talk about that. I think if you've been in the industry for so many years, you know that it's not just talking. I know it's seen as a temporary job, especially, I've started way before the work from home term is known. So yeah, I get this. And some people would think it's just something anyone who speaks English can do, but that is not the truth, because many people don't realize is how much planning, training, energy, yes, back-to-back class is, you need energy, and of course heart, right? There are many factors into this. If you want to create a great ESL lesson, you need all those factors, right? Because I know this society tends to place more value on traditional classroom teaching than online education, but I think it's changed a little bit now. Yeah. Have you ever had that happen to you? Just go like this. All right, so it's not just about speaking English, right? It's about teaching it effectively. You have lesson plans, you have this thinking on how to make my student engage. Sometimes you have tech issues, you need to fix things, internet issues, platform digital tools, you need assessment, you need feedback, right? Yeah. So let's not forget that ESL teachers help students reach life-changing goals. I know you can relate to this. Like, you have students from starting with zero English to the moment they can form sentences. Those are such beautiful moments. Yeah, like, I have a student, He doesn't. The first class was the mom said zero English. You're the first English teacher. So there was really no background. I don't think they even listened to English songs and all that. But now she talks to me. She asks me questions. It's not perfect, but it's amazing. Sometimes we kind of forget that. Like when I see that, oh yeah, I'm actually doing something, right? You have students that you helped pass major English exams, TOEFL, what else? IELTS, TOEIC, right? You help them build the confidence to travel. Students learn English because they're going to travel to the US, Australia, the UK, or they will study abroad, they will work abroad, right? So you are part of that transformation. We are part of that transformation every step of the way. So teaching English isn't just about language. It's about bridging cultures, building trust, and creating real human connection. So you, ESL teacher, you are doing meaningful work, okay? And you know what? At the end of the day, even if someone tells you that, or you read a comment or whatever, if you are sure of yourself, okay, so this is what I learned. If you're sure of yourself and you know you've got the heart for the job, then those comments don't matter, okay? If this job inspires you to wake up every day and show up with excitement and purpose and joy, that's what counts, okay? Yeah, because I've read from some of the spiritual leaders say that the key to a fearless life is to do something of service, something you truly love doing. You can't see the words. Wait a minute. I'm going to put myself up here. All right, let's read this. The key to a fearless life is to do something of service, something you truly love doing. And that's what ESL teaching can be. When you lead with purpose, other people's opinion lose their power. Yeah, so you're going to be unbothered, right? It's not going to nudge you a wee bit. So just keep showing up, keep making a difference, and let your passion speak louder than anyone's doubt. If you are a proud ESL teacher, online ESL teacher, you can write or type in the comments, I'm a proud ESL teacher. I am a proud ESL teacher. And like what I said, if one day money grows in trees, I would still teach ESL, but for free. Really. Okay, well, that's about it. Thank you for showing up and sharing this space and for being part of this beautiful teaching community. Again, guys, for those who have not joined our group yet, please do, so we can say hi and we can be friends. When you are teaching online, it is very important to have a support group and an online teacher friend. So yeah, go to English Bright ESL community. We'll be back next week with more questions, real talk, and happy vibes. Until then, and don't forget to like, share, and comment. Hashtag EB free coaching for your chance to win our next free coaching slot. So let me see. We're gonna go right here. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Becca. I am so happy you guys are here. You're like my friends. Because I don't have office mates. I don't work in a regular office setting. So you guys being here, that's wonderful. All right, stay curious, stay inspired, and stay you. We'll see you next time. Until then, happy teaching and you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye.